3 minutes ago, Ted Lieu exposed Kash Patel's misleading answers about the Epstein files. If you don't want to miss content like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe, because what you're about to hear was not an ordinary congressional hearing. Sometimes a lie is not shouted. Sometimes it is not openly denied. Sometimes it is simply told incompletely. And in Washington, this is the most dangerous kind of lie. Answers that sound truthful but do not reflect reality. That is exactly what happened today. Just 3 minutes ago, the atmosphere inside the congressional chamber changed. Voices lowered, pens stopped moving, the cameras barely moved. Because the person speaking was not an ordinary politician. The floor belonged to Ted Lieu, and sitting directly across from him was FBI Director Kash Patel. For those familiar with Ted Lieu's background, the importance of this moment was unmistakable. He is not just a member of Congress. He is a former military prosecutor who served for years as a JAG officer in the Air Force. That means someone experienced with war crimes, espionage cases, and betrayal files. And there is one truth learned in military courts: the patterns of lying are always the same. Sometimes people drown in unnecessary details. Sometimes a simple yes or no question drags on. Sometimes the answer circles around the question but never enters it. Ted Lieu was aware of this, and today, in Congress, he was watching it happen in real time. The Epstein files were on the table, again. But this time was different, because Lieu did not ask the questions everyone else was asking. For him, what mattered was not the content of the files, but the structure of the answers. And something caught his attention. "Director," he said calmly, "I have conducted interrogations for years. I have questioned war criminals, spies, and officers who abused their authority." A subtle movement spread through the room. And I can say this clearly: the answers you have given today perfectly match the behavioral patterns of people who are actively hiding something. This was not an accusation. It was an observation. Patel leaned slightly forward, as if he wanted to object. Lieu raised his hand. "I am not asking questions right now. I am simply sharing a professional assessment. The questions will come shortly, and I expect clear answers." At this point, many viewers realized something. This was an interrogation, not a political one, but a military-style interrogation. Lieu acted strategically. He did not start with Epstein. He did not begin where everyone expected. First, he asked calming, procedural questions. How does a standard FBI investigation file move through the system? Who reviews it? Who approves it? Which files go directly to the director's desk? Patel was comfortable with this. "Important files come to me," he said. "I personally review them." Lieu nodded. Important files. There was a 1-second pause. "Would you consider the Jeffrey Epstein investigation important?" That was the moment. Patel's jaw tightened. His pupils widened. "Yes, of course it's important." Lieu immediately followed up. "Then the Epstein file came to your desk?" Patel shifted. "Some summaries of the file." "No," Lieu said. "You just told us that important files come to your desk. You said Epstein is important. Did the file come to your desk? Yes or no?" Patel was cornered. "I wasn't able to read the entire file. Summaries were provided." The room froze. The FBI director was saying that he reviewed summaries of the largest child abuse and human trafficking case in American history. This was the first crack. If you've made it this far, liking the video really does make a difference. The algorithm only pushes content like this with engagement. Lieu moved to the second phase. On January 15, 2025, an internal review of the Epstein files was conducted. Is that correct? Patel said he did not recall the date. Lieu was prepared. That review identified 47 high-profile individuals. Is that accurate? A low murmur filled the room. This number was being heard clearly for the first time. "That information is classified," Patel said. Lieu remained calm. "Congress has oversight authority. Does such a report exist?" Patel paused. A draft report? Yes. That was the breaking point. Lieu read from the document. 12 politicians, 8 business executives, 6 media figures, academics, lawyers, foreign nationals. Then he looked up. And yet you repeatedly told Congress there was nothing of substance in these files. How does that happen? How do 47 names become nothing? Patel went on the defensive. It was a preliminary draft. It was not final. Lieu asked one question. How many names are in the final report? Silence. It would not be appropriate to share that. Lieu leaned back. Notice something, he said. He didn't say, I don't know. He said, it's not appropriate to share. That means there is a number. The third phase began. How many agents reviewed these files? Approximately 10. Lieu raised his eyebrows. Do you know how many agents investigated 9/11? More than 7,000. Oklahoma City? 900. And you reviewed the largest child trafficking network in history with 10 people. Patel defended himself. Quality matters more than quantity. Lieu immediately responded. You're talking about quality, yet you didn't even read the full files. Then came the final blow. Are there client names in these files? Patel hesitated. There are names mentioned in different contexts. Lieu cut in. Did you hear that? There are names. So the issue isn't that they don't exist. The issue is that they are not being released. Then came the question that froze the room. Director Patel, are you running the FBI or are you running a cover-up operation? Everyone held their breath. But the real finale was Epstein's death. The official ruling was suicide, correct? Yes. Did you evaluate former Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Michael Baden's findings of strangulation indicators? They were added to the file. Were they evaluated? The conclusion did not change. Lieu spoke slowly. A maximum security prison, the most high-profile inmate, 2 cameras malfunctioning, 2 guards asleep, no usable footage, and signs of strangulation. Then he asked, do you consider all of this happening at the same time normal? There was no answer. The final question was one sentence. Will all Epstein files ever be released to the public? Yes or no? Patel avoided it. Some materials will never be appropriate. Lieu nodded. There it is. Finally, an honest answer. Never. And that word echoed through the room. Never. Never for the 250 victims. Never for their families. Never for the public. Ted Lieu stood up. History will judge you, he said. Maybe not today, but it will. And the cameras recorded everything. If you're still watching, leave a comment. This conversation needs to grow. What happened today was not political theater. It was the exposure of misleading answers. And in just 3 minutes, the credibility of an FBI director collapsed. The final truth was this. Sometimes the truth is hidden in files, sometimes in notes, and sometimes in the silence of someone who can no longer answer. More is coming. Subscribe and turn on notifications. This file is not closed.